Hi members, day 86 of the 90-day health and well-being challenge. And some days are just harder than others. Same amount of time, 60 minutes, same amount of calories burned, but to get to those calories burned in that amount of time, sometimes it's an uphill battle. And I was feeling exhausted. My chest was tight. I was just completely out of breath. The sweat was incredible, yet I had fans going. So some days are just better than others. And you just got to go with the journey, go with the challenge. So I weighed in this morning, and I weighed in at 66.4. So hi Karen, great to see that you're watching. So 66.4 is still a great result. There's not a lot of shifting going on though. There's not a lot of dramatic loss. And I think this is where it starts to sort of stagnate a little bit, which it has been for the last few weeks. However, the exercise regime has been completely different. It's been about building muscle tone and strength and conditioning. And it's so very different to that weight loss that I had in America. The exercise regime was very different. So it's becoming very evident, depending on the type of exercise that you do, can sort of impact and result on those scales. And honestly, after this journey and everyone's feedback, I really am not too fussed about the scales. I know that I'm fitter and stronger, and I tried on some business suits yesterday, business suits that I haven't worn since really early last year, since doing the online business. And I was shocked. I thought I might be able to get away with it because I've actually got a business meeting next Friday. And I thought I might just get away with, putting on these suits and maybe rolling it over. There is absolutely no way that I can get away with these trousers. So I'm going to have to go through my wardrobe. It's a good problem to have. I've got some beautiful suits, but they're going to have to go out. So that's a great result. Awesome. Little tip that I want to share with you, and that was while I was in the gym, I have been watching segments of the Today Show. Now, that's a show that we have here in Australia. It's a morning breakfast show. And between because I get here sometimes 8 till 9 is when I do my workout here. So between 8 and 9 o'clock, they don't really have some of the heavy duty news broadcasts on. They're a lot lighter. Hi, Ruby. They're a lot lighter, and there's some great sort of 8 to 10 minute segments on that morning program. So it's a bit like Good Morning America. I don't know what it is in the UK, but there's some really good breakfast shows that if you look at the titles, because they've got experienced people that actually run these titles or these headings or these subject lines on these particular segments, and they're very good, light, interesting topics that people are interested in, and they know, they have researchers out there. What are people interested in? What do they want to watch? What do they want to hear? And there's some great little 7-8 minute segments that you could go to that program because they upload them onto the internet later that day. And I've been doing that. I've been going back and having a look at some of the content that has been released on the show. And you can quite easily convert that content into something of your own. And it's usually on the back of something really relevant that's happening right now, like research has been released or a paper has been released, and this is what they're saying. And so on the back of that research, you can then do your content, and you can then deliver something that's tight and simple and uncomplicated. And usually it's tips and tricks. And this morning I was listening to something on midlife crisis. I'm going to go back and have a read of it properly because I caught the end of it. And it's about when you hit 50. Well, I'm 50, right? So I'm in that space. And a lot of us, for online business owners, SFMers, that average age is 47. So that's going to be an interesting read. And there's research that's come out about what is a midlife crisis and what causes it, and what can people do to overcome that midlife crisis. And it's all about when you hit 50. So for you know, us in SFM, that's a perfect age demographic. That's some great research for us to then throw into some content or even a video ad. So, and the other thing was all about health and well-being. It was another thing that I was watching, and it was about the comparison between white breads all the way through to rye breads. So in sort of order of their darkness and what it is that you should be eating. And especially me now on this health and well-being journey, what was fascinating for me is I've always been buying wholemeal bread, and their research was saying the darker the better. However, the whole grain is better because it's lower GI, it makes you feel fuller for longer, and you don't get as much spike in your blood sugars. So another sort of tip, you know, something else that can be shared through content. And so these little morning shows are quite valuable. I mean, I have never watched them. I mean, never found them interesting, but since going to the gym and seeing these, and I'm only reading the subtitles on those segments, but great value and just a great tip if you're running out of ideas for content. That's my share today. Day 86, only 4 days to go, which is awesome. And I'll check in with everyone tomorrow. Thanks, Ruby, for watching. And great to see you here, Karen. Bye, everyone.